Hello. Camera's in a different place today. But we're going to be building a pedal board. I've got my pedal board behind me, so I'll move the camera. Thought this would be kind of a fun change of pace. We'll do this. And then we'll play some Splatoon 3. We got a Splatfest today, so this is going to be pretty chill. I don't have high expectations for this. This is just for fun. So we're going to bring this bad boy over. Show you guys what we're working with. And we'll keep the Splatoon music. The heat is running today because it's kind of chilly outside. So I've got a fan going. Sorry if that's getting picked up on the mic, but that won't be the whole time, but we'll have it for now. Got some new lights. That's cool. But yeah, we're gonna be building this pedal board. I want to show you guys real quick. I've got kind of a map of what I'm doing. So my current setup is here. I'll talk more about that. And then the new setup down here. We'll go over everything that I'm doing for that. And let's switch over to something a little more chill. Go some Animal Crossing. How's that? Cool? Cool. Alright, I'm going to move the camera. You're not going to see me, you're going to see the board. But we'll kind of talk about what's going on. Okay, so this is what we're working with. I am using a pedal train. I don't remember which one. It's not like the smallest one. I used to have the smallest one. Jen's currently using that one. Because she does some flute through effects. So this is my bigger board. It's a pedal train. And I usually play acoustic. So what I usually do is I run my acoustic into a compressor. This is a JHS 3 series compressor. Into a Behringer chorus. I'd love to get a better chorus, but this one does the job and it sounds fine. Into a Behringer Ultra Vibrato. Same kind of deal. I really only use these to get some shimmer effects on live gigs. I don't use a lot on my acoustic. If I'm doing more like lo-fi kind of stuff on my electric, I'll usually, turn up the level or the blend or whatever. But I usually keep these pretty low. Get some nice like vinyl wobble kind of effect with these two together. Another pedal I don't use very much, but I really, really like this, is a Hotone Crush. And it's a bit crusher. And it's got like a analog TV, like a CRT kind of sound, a radio sound. Well, actually, I think it's supposed to be, it's just got these little pictures, but I think it's a radio sound, a neutral sound, and then a vinyl sound. I really don't know what this switch does, but it does change the tone. I find that the vinyl is kind of the warmest. So it just adds some sort of additional layer of effects. But there is a bit knob, so you can change the bit rate. There's a blend knob over here, so that's for mixing your dry and your wet signal. And then there's a level knob. But this is really fun, especially with these three together. You can get a really, really cool lo-fi effect, which sounds really good with like a jazz box or an acoustic guitar. And then I go into my JHS 3 Series reverb. This is just the standard reverb. I would love to have the Hall reverb, but unfortunately I don't have that right now, so I'm just using the standard reverb. It sounds great. Like, just these two pedals alone are like amazing. I love them so much. And then that runs into my Behringer acoustic ADI 21. It's an acoustic amp modeler and a DI. So this gets rid of the piezo quack on my guitar, and I can run it direct out. I'm not doing it right now, but I can run it direct as a balance signal to a mic input on a mixer or a PA. But my PA system actually has an unbalanced line input, so I just run out of that. But I'm going to be changing that today. That's going to be different. And then I have my old loop station, which this is going to get replaced. It's an RC1, Boss RC1. It's a single track pedal, single phrase. It can do like 12 minutes or something like that. And you can overdub, and it's got stereo outs. But the problem I have with this is you can only do one phrase. You can't do multiple phrases, and it only saves your last recorded phrase. So even though you can overdub like, I think 2 or 3 tracks on top, it all has to be the same phrase, which is kind of annoying. And then there's no memory bank, so you can't store multiple sessions. And then this foot switch just gives me extra functionality for the looper. It just makes it easier to use, which I may or may not be keeping this on this board. We'll find out. But the new board, so that's the old setup, and then I run that all into the PA. The new setup, show you guys this diagram again. I'm going to be going from the guitar to the compressor. I'm going to be adding an octave pedal. I'll show you guys that in a sec. And then the same order for the chorus, the vibrato, the crush, into the crush, and then down into the reverb, into the new loop station, which I'll show you that as well, and then into the acoustic DI. And then I'm finally going to be using it as a DI now, with this new setup. But I think it's going to turn out really, really well. So just to show you some of the new things I'm working with, let me go grab those pedals. So this here is the RC500. This is the loop station I upgraded to. It can do 99 memory banks, and it's a multi-track looper, so you can or multi-phrase, multi-track, multi-phrase looper. So you can actually adjust the levels and record separate tracks. So you could have like an 8-bar verse and like a 4-bar or 12-bar chorus or something like that. It also has a drum machine built in. A mic input, so you can do loops for acoustic instruments or vocals. It's got a USB in, so you can actually import tracks as well, edit some other parameters. There's a control switch or expression switch jack, MIDI ins and outs. Takes batteries, but also takes a power supply, which is what I'll be using. And yeah, it's great. I love that it has separate switches, and you can actually control all these too. You can set, you can change these. Like if you want this to be record and this to be play and this to be stop, you can do that. If you want record, play, stop, all to be on this, you can do that. And overdub, you can have a switch programmed for the rhythm track to start and stop a rhythm track if you've got the drums going. But right now it's a track select, so it switches between track 1 and 2, and then you can record and overdub and all that. So that's what I'm currently using it for. That's going to go right here. Boop. And then I'm going to show you guys one more. This is brand new. I actually got this, Jen got this for my birthday, which is coming up. This is a TC Electronic sub and up octaver. So when we're doing live gigs, I can do bass lines on acoustic and put that into the loop, and then we have a bigger sounding band, even though it's just the two of us. So that's what this is. That's going to be going on the board. Take off some of these stickies. Most of my pedals are 100 milliamp, 9 volt. The only one that isn't is the the loop station, RC500. So the RC500, that is going to need 500 milliamps, which I actually have an isolated power supply. I'll show you guys what I'm using there too before we start tearing things down. Maybe we should move the camera, huh? I might do that actually. I might move the camera here in a second. So I bought a new DP2 from Donner on Amazon. I know people are, you know, kind of weird about Donner and Behringer and some of those budget companies, but what I like is that it's affordable. I'm a trumpet player, not primarily a guitarist, and I've never had any of this go wrong in a gig or recording session that I've done so far. So I don't need to buy a Voodoo or anything fancy. I currently have a DP1 that's been working great, which I might be trading that one out because this has an additional two 500 milliamp 9 volt isolated ports. So takes a 18 volt in, and then it's got 7, well this one's got 8 9 volt outs, and then it's got a 12 volt out and an 18 volt out, which I haven't needed to use. So I'll probably just be populating the first 8. I think that'll probably be fine. How many pedals do I have here? We've got 1, and then 2 with the octaver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on 100. So 7 will take 100, and then that 8th one will be the 500 milliamp 9 volt out for the loop station. So that's going to be everything I'm going to need. Underneath, I'll show you guys what I'm working with right now. So I have the power supply actually strapped down there, and I'm using a lot of twist ties, zip ties to keep everything organized. So it looks like a rat's nest underneath, but on top, you know, super clean, super clean. So that's going to have to change a little bit. We actually might not need to change out the power supply because this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 700 milliamp. Yeah, it's got 7, and then it's got an additional 500 here at the end. So it's just got the 1 500. So we might not need to change this, which is awesome. And I'm going to be saving a port for this foot switch that I'll be taking out. So really all we need to do is take these out, put the looper in, and then find how we're going to hook up the octaver. Okay, so let me get this camera moved again. I will be right back. Okay, so new camera angle. Sorry about the, cables and stuff. So what we're going to do first, I think we're going to need to slide all of this over. I will need to put some Velcro on. Ooh, thank you. I will have to put some Velcro on the new pedals. So I may have to duck away to get that. Yeah, doesn't it look good? We've got the lights too in the back. Very ambient, but yeah. Anyway, let's see, where do we start? I think I'm going to take this power supply. I'm going to unplug this power supply first. So we're not going to need this right now. And we're going to set aside the loop station and the foot switch, because we're not going to need those. Oh, this feels wrong. I've had this set up for so long. Turn the music down? Okay, I can do that. How's that? Music better? Good? Okay. So yeah, this feels kind of wrong taking all this off because I've had it this way for 2 years now. This has just been the setup. Ugh. This Velcro that came with my pedal train is no joke. Okay. So there's that Boss FS7. This thing is so awesome. It's so versatile. And it's so small. So it fits so nice on it fits so well on a pedal board. So if you need any sort of like additional control switches for like a mixer or a loop station or activating like any sort of switch, like if you've got two lines of pedals, like you use one for leads and one for rhythm or whatever, this thing is like amazing. I love this. Your story about your pedal board, or not sure I understand. Ugh. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is no joke. It literally ripped off. Oh, jeez. This Velcro ripped off the serial number. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. We'll just put that back. There we go. Oh, about you putting my pedal board away? Yeah, okay. So this was pretty early in Jen and I's like gigging days with Ecrutique and like really starting to upgrade our setups. And so I've been teaching her how to help with some of the setup and teardown of the gear. And so after a rehearsal one day, I was like, hey, I'm going to put away this stuff. Do you mind just putting away my pedal board? Like, just put away the guitar pedals, put away the pedal board. And she proceeds to do that because she's great and very helpful and a wonderful person, but unhooked everything. And it was right after I had just finished setting up all my pedals. Like, it took me a week of testing. I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, my brain could barely keep up with how I had it. I was just holding it together with bubble gum and duct tape. And she dismantled the whole thing. And I was so upset. But, I mean, she was great for helping me out. So, yeah, it's funny now. It wasn't funny then, but it's much funnier now. Okay. So we've got this patch cable undone. This was to the loop station. So that's going to go over here. We're not going to need those on this board. And then I've got my amp modeler. This is going to have to move. So we're going to undo this. Oof, maybe. Okay, let's just unplug that for now. Everything's really tight because I zip tied everything down, so I'm kind of trying to figure out how to best tackle this. Let's see. Because I don't want to undo more than I need to, but I do need to shift these over. Ooh, what I could do, maybe, is just run this. Instead of shifting everything over, I can run this patch cable from the compressor. Run this patch cable from the compressor down here to the octave pedal. Let's grab that. Like I said, I'll need to get some Velcro on this thing. Their battery bank, I noticed, is different than a lot of other pedals. It's actually a screw. So on Boss pedals, you actually have this screw here. And then that opens the battery compartment. So that's where you put the battery. And on Behringer, it's actually a spring mechanism. So the hinges on the sides, so like on a Boss pedal, you've got these screws on the side. On a Behringer pedal like these, it's actually to get to the battery compartment. It's in the same place as the Boss pedal, but instead of a thumb screw, you actually use a pencil or a pen or something, and you push these pins in. They're not screws, they're pins. You push them in, and this whole, the top of the foot switch actually comes off, and that's where you put the batteries. But on TC Electronic, or at least this one, I've never owned another TC Electronic pedal. On this particular one, there's actually a thumb screw. It's not really a thumb screw. You'd actually need a screwdriver because it's pretty tight on there. But that's how you access the battery compartment for it. Now, I haven't messed with this pedal at all yet. This is that Sub and Up Octaver that Jen got me. But it has... I don't know what the up is. I'm assuming this is mixing the sub. You want more bass, or up you get more of the original signal, maybe? I don't know if that's treble and bass EQ, or if it's like a dry wet kind of thing. Up an octave, so that's multiple octaves, maybe? And then sub 1, sub 2. Then this is your dry signal, how much dry signal you want. So I guess if you want all bass, you roll that down. And if you want, or maybe it's more of the dry signal, more of the bass, I'm assuming. And then I don't know what the poly, tone print, or classic does on here. I'll show you guys. Poly, tone print, and classic. I don't know what that does yet. But we will learn. And it's true bypass, too. So you can just run straight through and it's not going to affect your signal, which is amazing. I love when pedals do that. Okay. So I think that'll go here, and then we'll just run it back up to the chorus. I'm going to get another one of these pancake ones because I want to keep all my patch cables relatively the same. So let me grab that. I just have a bag full of extra patch cables that I keep in my pedal train case. This is super convenient because if patch cable fails on a gig or something, you've got backups. And I've got a few different profiles too, so even though most of the ones I use are these pancake style ones, I do have some other patch cable types. I I really like Hose's stuff. It's rugged and, you know, I've gotten no noise, never had durability issues. Hose's stuff is great. So most of my patch cables are Hose, but oh yeah, I wasn't sure about the. So you can blend different octaves, probably by poly. Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. You can really thicken up the sound that way. I bet that'd sound really cool with like distortions, or choruses too. Get a really big sound that way. Wasn't sure about signal compatibility. At least I think you can blend multiple octaves together. That would make sense. That would make sense. Okay. All right, output for the Octaver. Oh gosh, that's a tight. These are some tight ports on this octave pedal. What in the world? Okay, I'll have to twist this. Ugh. The Velcro that came with this is no joke. Like, I haven't had to re-Velcro anything. Pretty good. Now this is kind of annoying to have this extra slack. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. I also have these like rubber feeties. I don't want to take those off. Oh, but they do come off okay. Ooh. Okay, I might actually take these little feet. I might take these little feet and put them, let me see, in the box. I might take those feet off and put them in the box somewhere. So it did come with that USB cable. Oh, another thing that's kind of cool about this TC Electronic, you can actually, let's see. It comes with a USB cable, so I don't know if that's just for firmware updates or if you can actually change like the tone print. Connects to your computer for firmware updates and tone print editing. Yeah, sweet. That's pretty cool. So dry sets the output level for the dry signal, of course. Sub adds a harmony voice an octave below. Sub 2 adds a harmony voice 2 octaves below. Up adds a harmony voice an octave above. Ooh. So it's not just down, it's up too. Very cool. Also came with this TC Electronic sticker, which I'm probably not going to do anything with, but you can input sounds. Oh man. Tried really hard to get it going. I think you did. It looks great. It's really cool. I am excited. Okay, I'm going to take these little feet off because I don't want to lose them when I put the Velcro on. Come on. If I can get them. Boop. Stick you on there. Come on. I kind of don't know what I'm talking about, but I did a lot of research. I trust you. Who knows? Maybe we'll try it out. I don't know if that's something people would like to see, but let's go get the put this box to the side. I'm gonna get the Velcro strips for this. So I'm just gonna grab, I realize I muted my mixer. I am going to be right back. I'm grabbing the Velcro strips for the bottom of these pedals.